Hey everyone, welcome back to the Wyoming Knits YouTube channel. My name is Jenny Lee, and this is my channel where I like to talk about all the things that I've been knitting on over the past week. Today is Sunday, January 11th, 2026, and I'm coming to you from a beautiful sunny southwest Wyoming where I live with my husband, our daughter, and our little Yorkie, Dax. It has been sunny and beautiful all day today. We did drop in temperature this week for a little while. We had a couple of cold, windy days. Still no snow, but today is beautiful, and it looks like our forecast says we're going to be up in the 40s again all next week. As I look out my window at the Uinta Mountains, it looks like the mountains have got snow, so that's good. Last year we had to start preserving water at the end of the season, end of the growing season, before we went back to school. The town had issued a please don't water your lawn or your gardens unless absolutely necessary, because our reservoir was out of water. So hopefully this year we'll get enough snow that we don't have to do that again this year, but it's not looking like it. So let's talk about some knitting. I got to work on all the things that I didn't work on all through December as I was opening advents and working on sock sets, and so I got a lot of knitting done this week on past projects. So I have no finished objects and 7 works in progress that I worked on this week. So let's talk about what I'm wearing first. I'm wearing the Birch Pullover by Andrea Mowry. This is a half fisherman's rib pullover sweater. It is a fingering weight sweater, knit on a size US size 2. Let me get my little US size 2 is a 2.75 millimeter needle, and you do half fisherman's rib. The collar and the cuffs are all 2x2 rib, and this is a sweater that I really enjoy wearing. It's a little oversized. I think if I make another one I would go down one pattern size. I was very nervous when I first knit it that the sleeves were going to be tight. They are not, so I think if I do another one I would go down a pattern size. I did really enjoy working on this. It took a very long time though, because each half fisherman's rib round is only half a round, so you have to knit 2 rounds to equal 1 row of knitting. This is in the color Fern Gully by a chick that knits. She no longer dyes this color, but she has one that is very similar that I saw last, I think it was last summer on her website, and it was called the Shire. So it's still like a mossy green. So I will have my project page for this garment in the description box below. I will have all of my project pages linked for everything I talk about today. Places you can buy the yarn that I used to knit the pattern, and the bags that the bag shops that I bought the bags with. I forgot to draw winners for our Makealong, so I will, after I'm done filming, I will draw winners and come back and put that in here. Alright, I have drawn all the winners for Q4 and for the yearly Makealong, and I think it's going to be the easiest for everyone if I do a pattern prize. So everyone gets to pick a pattern from Ravelry, $10 US or lower, and I will gift that to you in your Ravelry account. So let's start with Q4 accessories, and I will put a picture of each one right here. And if you will contact me on Ravelry and tell me the pattern that you picked, $10 or less in US dollars, and I will gift that to you. So our first winner was, I drew from post 172, that was the first post in October, to 236, that was the very last post in December, and random number generator picked post number 218, and that was Knit, Read, Play. So this is the project that you posted, and if you will just contact me on Ravelry. Then we have the sweaters. We did post number 22 through post number 26, and random number generator chose post number 23, and that is TRICOCOOL. You were the winner for the sweaters. This is your project. If you will contact me on Ravelry, we will get your prize to you. And then blankets, we had 3 projects in the blankets category for this Q4, and so I used post number 16 through post number 19, and random number generator picked post number 18, Big D. So this was your project. So all 3 of you, congratulations for the Q4 project win. Contact me on Ravelry. And for the whole year, we had 236 posts for accessories. So I did post number 2 because I was the first post. So I did post number 2 through 236, and the random number generator picked post number 83. And that was SJS 57 Knits. If you will contact me on Ravelry, I will get you a pattern prize. And then for our sweaters, we did post number 2 through post number 26, and random number generator chose post number 16, and that was MELHERR. This is your project that you posted. And then for blankets, we went from post number 2 to post number 19, and random number generator chose post number 17, and that is Jasmine R88. So if all of you will contact me on Ravelry, and I will get your pattern prize to you. I think that will be the easiest way right now with all the shipping costs and all of the things. I think that's just going to be the easiest for us right now. And so I want to say congratulations again to all the winners. Please reach out to me on Ravelry. I will be sending you a message also notifying you that you have won a prize from my scrappy Makealong. So thank you again everyone for joining, and let's get back to the knitting. So thank you to all of our winners. I am so excited that you participated and you were able to win a prize this time. I think I'm going to take a year off of Makealongs, or at least 3 months, the first quarter, off of hosting a Makealong. I am going to join in on a few Makealongs. Happy Crafty Homemaker has a different Makealong for each month. Pearls of Parmadice is also doing their giant mini mal again this year. Hers is anything knit with at least 1 mini can be entered. Whips are welcome. So if you knit a pair of socks with a mini, or a sweater where you used 1 mini for color work or cuffs, you can enter it in her Makealong. I plan on entering a few things this year in that one. So let's get back into the knitting and talk about my works in progress. So the first thing I have to talk about is a sock. I have two socks that we're going to talk about today. The first sock is this second breakfast pattern by Sock Witchery. This is a Happy Mermaid Yarn Co. yarn in the color Christmas Morning. It came with this gray mini that I used for the cuff and the toe. I just didn't want to put in a contrast on the heel. I just wanted to keep knitting and not change anything and not have those ends to weave in when I was finished. So I did finish this first sock. I think you saw the first sock finished last week. I have my stitch markers marking every 10 rounds, and I have, I'll show you the yarn and the label. This is living in a Happy Mermaid Yarn Co. bag. I got this bag and the yarn at the same time. I think I got it the winter of 2024, and it was supposed to be a Christmas Day cast on, but I did not cast it on Christmas Day 2024. Here's the mini. It's got some sparkle and the main color, and here's the tag. Happy Mermaid. This is a 70-20-10, 70 superwash merino, 20 nylon, and 10 bronze stellina, 100 grams per 437 yards. So it's called Christmas Morning. And last time I showed it, the doggy's up here with me. I think he sees a cat out the window. We have a fence between our house and the neighbor's yard, and we're on the second floor, so he can see over the fence into the neighbor's yard, and he can see the cats out there. If I let him out, he'll go tear around the house and then can't find the cats because they're actually not in our yard. But I was right here on the cuff last time, and I managed to knit about that much this week. I worked on this after school. I am about 5 to 6 rows before I need to put in the heel. So I stopped working on that last night because I was like, I only have about 15 minutes before bedtime. I don't want to start the heel, so I'll do that tomorrow. So I have this one that's almost ready for the heel. And then the other sock I worked on is living in this Mountain State Stitches bag. And I am using a sock set from Mama Jess Knits. And this one is the Book Lover color with the gold mini. And her yarn is a 75-25 superwash merino and nylon, 463 yards per 100 grams. And here's the main color. The mini. And we had a training on Friday. It was a 4-hour training in the auditorium, and so I brought my sock to work on, and in a little over 4 hours I managed to go from right here. I put in the heel and got all the way through the gusset decrease stitches. This one I was in the training, so I didn't want to stop and put in the yellow for the heel. This is the Vanilla Bean pattern by the Crazy Sock Lady. It has a slip stitch heel flap. I did most of this during the training, and then I did my allergy shot where I did a few more rounds after, while I was sitting in the waiting room waiting to see if I had a reaction. I usually don't. So I do like how this is. It's stretchy this way, it's stretchy this way. It is a 4-row repeat, so it's really easy to memorize. I was able to keep track of the repeats as I was knitting and listening to the presenter. So I have that one. And those are the only 2 socks I worked on this week. I only worked on this sock on Friday because I knew I needed something not close to the heel, or something I could just work on straight through that wasn't close to a toe or a heel or anything like that. And this is my favorite bag to take with me because I can just hold it on my arm, and if I need to stand up and walk around, I can also do that without too much trouble. So that was the second thing I wanted to share with you today. The next thing is a shawl. This is a Redsldycreats bag. These cute flamingos. And I'm using some hand spun for this one that I got a few years ago at, it was at the Evanston Library. They had some fiber people there vending, and they had some different fiber, some different yarn, and there was a lady selling her her hand spun, so I picked up this skein. I wound it up and I started a Jaunty shawl. This is where I was when I showed it in my Everything I'm Bringing into 2026 video. I decided that I needed to put a row counter on here to help me remember which row I was on so I could do the increases. You do the increases on one side every so many rows, and so you need, with this darker color, it was just easier for me to get a row counter. This is also knit on a, I want to say a size 2 needle. Yes, size 2, US size 2, 2.75 millimeter needle. This handspun is between a fingering and a lace and a sport, depending on where you're at. So I think I'm gonna like it when it's finished. I have a half fisherman sweater on. I'm working on a half fisherman's rib shawl. I'm also working on a half fisherman rib cardigan, all by Andrea Mowry. When I was writing my notes, I was like, oh, yep, 3 half fisherman's rib things today. So I think I did this Monday after dinner. I worked on this for a little while. After, I think every day this week I picked one project to work on after dinner so I can make some progress on a few things this week. Then the next thing I wanted to share is my Lento. I don't remember the designer's name. It should be up here. This is a bag by Awesome Grannie. And I don't think I showed this on my Everything I'm Bringing In. I think I talked about it. I held up the yarn, but I don't think I actually showed the sweater. So this is my Lento, and I'm using Surrey alpaca from the Sheepy Shire in the color Hydrangea, and I'm using a fingering weight from Stitchin with Yarn in the color Stitch Quest. I'm holding those two together, and I'm using a size 10, US size 10, 6mm needle, and I was right here January 1st, and I knit that much. I did put the sleeves on hold. I was in the raglan increases at the beginning of January, the end of December. So it is knit at a very loose gauge with fingering and Suri alpaca. The increases are a knit front back increase. I think if I did this again, I would do a make one left, make one right. I just like that one better. You start out with, you start out right here, and you do your collar and you knit it double, and then you fold it down, and then you knit it together with your next one. I knit every other stitch down. So I would knit two together, knit the next stitch, knit two together, knit the next stitch, knit two together. That way it's a little stretchier than if you just sew it down. And then when I'm knitting them together, I follow this line around and make sure that where I'm knitting together is also like this same knit column or purl column, just so my neck doesn't start to like go sideways on me. So I think this says I have about 8 more inches. I think it says 8 inches, but I don't want a cropped sweater, so I'll go a little bit longer, try it on and see if that's as long as I want before I do the ribbing, come back, pick up the sleeves. It did not take me very long to get this far, so I'm hoping in a couple of weeks, if I work on this one day a week, that it will be finished soon. This will be a fun sweater to wear in January. Hopefully I get it done in January. Then the next one I have is Living in a Sassy Sacks. Her shop is on Etsy. I am using Knit Picks Stroll. I have the Bare Undyed Stroll, and then I have the color Strawberry, which is a red color, and Serene, which is a blue color. And I am making the Stria cardigan by Andrea Mowry. Let's see. That is the inside. Set that all down. My daughter asked for this one. She wanted red, white, and blue. And I was right here on this blue stripe last time. I'm ready to put in the next blue stripe. After Christmas, she was like, "Mom, are you going to work on my sweater now?" I said, "Yes, I will work on your sweater again." So it's got this beautiful raglan line. I think I am 3 stripes away from splitting for sleeves. So this will take a little while because it's fingering weight on 2 US size 2 in a half fisherman's rib pattern. So then the next thing I worked on, I pulled out my Lion Brand Mandala in the Mantra color. This is like blue and teal. And let's see. And I had some in the Serene color, pinks and orange. And I worked on my painting Honeycombs blanket. I was right here where this duck is on the last episode. I have done 11 honeycombs, and I did the math. If I do one honeycomb repeat, so I go from here, do the honeycomb, and then do this main color again. If I do one of those a day on this one, I will have it finished by the end of February. And I have 3 blankets that I'm doing in this pattern, and if I do one honeycomb row a day, then I can have all 3 blankets finished by the end of summer, I think. Because I think it's only going to take me two months to do each one, so 6 months would put me at the end of June. So I should be done with these by the end of June. I do want to make them for Christmas presents for a family I know this year. For their 3 kids, 2 girls, 1 boy. So I got the yarn for the other 2 blankets. I ordered it from Michael's. I will show you at the end. So that is living in another Sassy Sacks. I have, let's see, 3 skeins of each color in here. Three of the Mandala skeins in here of each color. And then I think on Sunday I worked on this project. This is just a tote bag that my aunt made for me. And I worked on my Jelly Roll blanket. This is the Jelly Roll blanket by Kay Jones. She is doing a Jelly Roll January. She has a Makealong on her Ravelry group. I will link that in the description box below when I link this pattern. And you can go over and you can add your Jelly Roll or post in the chatter thread. This is a DK weight. I am holding 2 strands of fingering weight double. I am holding all of my Knit Picks Felici double. So last time I was right here where this cute little camper is. I finished off this strip, so I have 3 completed strips, and I started the 4th one. So I got that far on the 4th one all last Sunday. It does not take very long to do one whole strip. This, if I put this right touching the ground, it is this tall. I wanted it to be at least as tall as me, so it's that tall. I think I'm doing 20 stitches per each strip. And my last Jelly Roll blanket I finished, I did with the Yarn Cafe Creations My Little Pony July countdowns. I used the 2024 and the 2025 countdowns. There was not enough for me to do. If I would have done fingering weight, I could have got it all done in 1 year, but I wanted to hold it double because I like the feel of a DK weight blanket. So I held it double, and then I did not, it wasn't wide enough. So I did the second year, and I ended up doing 12 panels. So I think 8 panels would be perfect for a throw blanket to curl up on the couch with. So if I get to 8, I might be finished, or we'll see how much Felice yarn I still have left, because I did buy some Felice this year. I have it in these little totes. That's the one I got this year. Here's my other ones I have that I still need to make socks with. So if I make those socks and I use what's left in here, I think that should be enough for a fun blanket. And then whatever scraps I have left over from that, I might do another scrap witchery blanket. I really liked that one. I used all my row 1 minis for that. But I do like how sometimes this marls together and the same color is used at the same time, and sometimes it is not. So I think this is going to be a fun one, just a fun scrappy blanket to work on Sundays. I think I'll work on this on Sundays when I edit and after dinner. I have been doing the 1 honeycomb stripe a day on my Painting Honeycombs blanket. Did I say that's by Stephen West? It was probably up there. My honeycomb blanket, I'm doing 1 stripe, and then I switched to my other project that I'm going to do for the rest of the night. So I am able to work on a little bit of everything. I have a pair of socks that I need to cast on pretty soon. One of our what is it called? I lost the word. One of the people in our community, a family in our community, went through a tragedy involving domestic violence and some things, and they had a auction where you could post something you wanted to donate and people could bid on that, and I did a pair of socks. So the winner chose this color, and I will be casting that on today and making those socks. I'm going to see if I can get them done in like hopefully a week or week and a half, so I can give those to her. She's already given me her foot size and everything. I just need to cake it up and get it on some needles. And then I have this, I have a little basket right here that I'm going to be putting all of the socks I want to do next, all of the things I want to start next. So when I am ready, when I cast off a pair of socks, I can come up here and grab my next one. I did rearrange my yarn a little bit. I will show you that. Let's see. I have all of my fluff, and then I have single skeins. I have some of my knit pick stuff right here, and then I put all of my Yarnable and my Yarn Brary up here, and my Dragon Horde sock sets. Then I have all the rest of this is like my Sinful yarn and my Blackbird Sycamore, and then I put my Momma Jess yarn right here, and I'm going to start working from that. And then I cleared off this shelf right here, and I'm going to try to store all the new 2026 yarn here. I'm going to try to work through it as I get it. but I'm going to put all of that right there. Hopefully that will help me visually see how much yarn is coming in instead of just putting it on the shelf and it just blends in with everything else that I have. So I'm going to be doing that. I have this yarn that I got at the end of December that I just put right there because I want to start a sweater with that. So let's talk about acquisitions. I did tell you that I ordered some Lion Brand Scarfie, and I ordered some yarn from Michaels. Michaels was having a sale, and I knew I wanted to get some colors for the other 2 blankets that I wanted to knit this year for the Christmas gifts. So we will start with my Yarn Prairie yarn that I got for December, and this one is The Road Goes Ever On. This beautiful blue. A little bit of purple. So that will go here because it came in after January 1st. And then I got some loops and threads. Michael's was having a buy one, get one 20% off. So I've got 2 of these. This will be the main color. And then for the stripes, I got this one. I like how it's got the cute little bits of tweed in there. So let me see if I can hold all of these together. I got a corally pink color and a purple to go as the stripes. So I think that will be pretty. Her favorite color is yellow, so I wanted yellow to be the main color, and then some cute little colors for the other. So we'll put that here. And then for the other blanket, I got some of this Loops and Threads Impeccable. This is like a charcoal color, a dark gray. I didn't want to do black, so I got the dark gray, and then I got purple. That is showing more bluey purple, a light gray, and a white. But this is more of a true purple. Let's see. I don't know. It is showing more blue, but it is purple. So those ones. And then I haven't opened this yet, the Scarfie yarn. I got 6 balls of this. I want to do like I think the Lakes pullover with this one, or the step-by-step pullover. I think a lot of people are holding Noro with some fluff. So I thought this would be fun to do that and have a fun sweater. This is acrylic, polyester, nylon, and 7% wool. So I'm going to do a sweater in this year also. We'll put that right there. And that is all the mail I got. I need to inventory this into my spreadsheets, so I have how much yarn came in this month so far, and I need to get knitting and get some more stuff out of stash. Hopefully that was the bulk of what I will be getting the rest of this month. I don't plan on ordering anything else except my Mama Jess sock set for February. I've ordered the January one and I just ordered the February one. So I will hopefully for next month only be getting the Mama Jess yarn. I don't have any plans of knitting anything else that I would need to go buy some yarn for at this time. Might change, but I do want to try to stash down. So I will get those winners drawn and get them in the beginning of this episode. You've already seen who it is. So thank you again for participating. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, and I will see you next week. Until then, happy knitting.